Hello everyone, this is the automation here, and today I have a simple industrial example in which we can use all the mathematical instructions we have learned in our previous session. So without wasting more time, let's begin. But before that, you need to like this video and subscribe our channel because we are going to make so many videos on these topics of PLC programming. So let's begin. So this example has a cola factory in which we are going to produce the cola cans in batch production. So in every batch we are going to produce some amount of cola cans. So to calculate the required amount of raw material for next production, we need to use the mathematical instructions. So now we have this batch production line on which there is this HMI which is showing the count of cans produced in previous batch, the target to complete the batch and the raw material required for rest of the batch. So let's suppose we have produced 30 cans in our previous batch and the target is 100 cans. So we need to produce 70 bottles in our next production. So for that we need to get some raw material, and let's suppose each can holds 100 ml of cola. So we need to multiply the number of cans with 100 and the final number will be our raw material requirement. So let's create this application in our PLC program. So for that I need to add three rungs in our program. So in our first rung, I'm going to add the mathematical instruction subtraction, and in our second rung I'm going to add the multiply instruction like this, and in our third rung I'm going to add the division instruction. So in this first rung I'm going to calculate the number of bottles required, and in the second rung I'm going to calculate the required raw material in ml, and in this third rung we are going to convert the raw material from ml to liters. So first I will address this subtraction instruction in which the source A is the target value. So for that I will put n7 colon 0, and in our source B we are going to put n7 colon 1, which is the count of bottles produced in previous batch. And in the destination I am going to put another data register which is a integer data register n7 colon 2. So in this data register n7 colon 2, we will get the required number of bottles we need to produce in this batch. So I will just name this n7 colon 2 bottles required. So I have named this n7 colon 2 bottles required. So I will just drag this n7 colon 2 address to our source A of this multiply instruction so that we can multiply that required number of cans with 100. So for that I will put 100 in our source B. So now in this multiply instruction, required number of cans will be multiplied by 100 and that value will be stored in this destination. So for that I will put n7 colon 3 in this destination, and I'm going to name this n7 colon 3 as raw material required in milliliters. So I have named this n7 colon 3 as raw material required in milliliters. So I will just put this n7 colon 3 in this division instruction at source A, and now I am going to divide this n7 colon 3 with 1000 so that the value must be converted in liters. So I will just divide this n7 colon 3 with 1000 and we will get the raw material in liters in this destination. So for that I will put F8 colon 0, which is raw material required in liters. So I have named this F8 colon 0 as raw material required in liters. So this is how we can calculate the raw material required for our next batch. So let's download this program and let's see how it works. So run. And now we have all the values 0 here because we don't have any data of previous batch. So I will put 30 here, which is the number of cans produced in previous batch. And these values are going in minus because our source A has the value 0, which is the target number of bottles. So target is 0 and we have produced 30 bottles, which is extra. So that's why this N7 colon 2 is showing minus 30. So I will just go offline. And I'm going to add one comparison instruction in our second run so that whenever this n7 colon 2 shows minus value, this calculation must stop. So I will just add the comparison instruction greater than here, and I will drag this n7 colon 2 here at source A of this greater than instruction, and I'm going to put 0 in our source B. So whenever our n7 colon 2 is in minus, this greater than instruction will stop this multiplication. So let's download this program. and run. So now I am going to put 30 in our previous batch data. So this 30 will be subtracted from 0, which comes to minus 30. So this minus 30 will be carried here, and since minus 30 is less than 0, our multiplication has stopped and this destination data register is showing 0. So if I set the target of 50 cans, then this 30 will be subtracted from 50 and the value comes 20, and that value will be carried here, and since 20 is greater than 0, this multiply instruction is going to operate and the value 20 will be multiplied by 100 and the multiplication will be stored in this N7 colon 3, which is 2000 ml, and this value is in milliliters. So we need to convert that milliliters in liters. So for that I have divided this 2000 with 1000 and the value comes is 2 liters. So we need to get 2 liters of fresh cola from the tank so that we can produce 20 extra cans to reach this target. So if I put 100 as the target value, then these 30 cans produced in previous batch will be subtracted from 100, which will give the required cans as 70. And since 70 is greater than 0, that 70 will be carried here, and 70 multiplied by 100 becomes 7000, and that 7000 is being divided by 1000, which gives the final value 7.0 for the raw material in liters, which we need to get from the tank so that we can produce 70 bottles. Because we have 30 bottles produced and the target is 100, so we need to produce 70 cans in our upcoming batch. So this is how we can calculate the required number of cans we need to produce in upcoming batch and the raw material required. So I hope you got the point how we can use subtraction instruction, multiplication instruction, and division instruction. So if you have any queries regarding these mathematical instructions, then let me know them in comment section. I will always be there to answer your questions. And as you know, we haven't explained addition instruction in this program because addition is so basic. But if you want me to add the addition instruction in this program, then I want 20 likes within a month to make that video. So like this video, subscribe our channel and share this video to your friends and colleagues. So with that being said, I will see you in the next video. Till then, keep exploring our previous videos. Bye.